Good evening. Welcome to SoCal channel. Today we have Suchir Balaji's mother and father with us in SoCal channel. Suchir Balaji was an artificial intelligence software engineer who does not need any more introduction. He was a brilliant engineer who leaves a legacy behind him. Today we have his parents and we would like to know, can you share some memorable moments and accomplishment of Suchir Balaji that stood out for you?
He showed us when he was 2.5 months old that he's gifted. He picked up his alphabets at 13 months, and 18 months old, he could read words. He formed clear sentences and gave us driving directions at the age of 2. And he was a prodigy, he was a genius, and he started coding at the age of 11. Being a software engineer myself, I could not answer his algorithm questions at that age. And then he wrote a Google Science paper when he was 14 that talked about VLSI design and Monte Carlo algorithm. Even today, I cannot understand anything about it. He was a prodigy. When he was 16 and in his 12th grade, he was national champion for the country, for the USA Computing Olympiad. Then he took a gap year. He worked as a software engineer straight from high school. He was offered $25,000 sign-on bonus and hired. After 1 year, he joined UC Berkeley, the number one public university for computer science at that time. He maintained 4.0 GPA. He did undergrad research in artificial intelligence, and he represented UC Berkeley for the World Championship. I think the team was 31 in the world. And then he won $100,000 award for TSA competition for passenger screening. That was in machine learning. He was just in first year. He hadn't even taken any classes in machine learning. He had mastered it. He tried 3 different AI companies when he was in undergrad for internship. OpenAI, Scale.ai, and another. He picked OpenAI as his choice for employment because they were open source. At that point of time, it aligned with his intentions. And Such's accomplishments in ChatGPT are very significant. He was a O1 contributor. That's a very, very core team. His published research papers very first year after he graduated, 2022. We have a research paper by him for WebGPT. When I read that, I knew there's going to be a product very similar to this. I could sense that it's going to have an impact. And even when ChatGPT was slow, Suchir was the engineer who tuned it and he made it work better. He had a very unique way of doing things. He worked directly under chief scientist of OpenAI, but he left OpenAI when he started to see that when they started using the company's data for public use, which was from non-profit to profit, he started questioning his own ethics, like his ethics and what the company is doing, and it's harming humanity. That's what he called out. He quit OpenAI, but before he quit OpenAI in July, he already had a plan in mind what he wants to do next. He discussed with his friends from, colleagues or classmates from UC Berkeley. He was planning a startup. He resigned OpenAI in August, almost end of August, started working for his own research project. That research is what he has published. He's proven mathematically and scientifically why he believes it's not authentic and genuine. He just gives a very simple example. If you feed a black and white cat and the data that comes out is a colored cat, so what he means is the original work is getting disturbed or manipulated. So all the artists, journalists, their work is stolen.
Okay.
He made a very big statement, and in New York Times, he gave an interview as well. He called out the copyright violation of OpenAI, and he wanted to be a witness in the lawsuit against OpenAI.
Okay.
That brings us to this day.
Okay. And can you please share the details when you were trying to reach Suchir, from the time you tried to reach Suchir and he was unavailable on phone to the time you were right outside his apartment? What Can you give us a step by step from the time you were outside the apartment door to when you went inside? What were the things that you found in his main room, in the bathroom, and other places? What were the signs you saw, and what did you see?
Actually, when the officers came, I wasn't allowed to go inside. Around 3:20, medical examiner, that's a process. Medical examiner came at 3:20. And when they came in, I saw the van that came to take the dead body. That was when I realized he was no more. I was standing outside till then. I thought my son is traveling somewhere. But why are they not allowing inside? They kept telling me that there's a protocol, we can't go inside the apartment. They haven't told me for nearly 2 hours. And immediately within 40 minutes, medical examiner made a determination of the death. He handed over the keys to us. And when I did mention to medical examiner, he was a whistleblower and he just came back from vacation. He was very happy.
Yes,
There are
I was the last person to talk to him on Friday when he returned.
Okay.
He was in a good mood. I asked him where he went, how it was, the trip was. He said he went to LA and Catalina Island, which he backpacked with his friends, 3 friends. And he said he enjoyed the trip. And it was raining that day in San Francisco. I asked whether it was raining there. He said it was nice weather. It was not raining. And also, I was asking this if he's interested to go to Las Vegas on January because there is a CES exhibit is going on. I used to go. I asked him to accompany. He said, I'm interested for that. He didn't show any depression or anything. He was very happy. And also, I told I will give gift every year. I give gift for him. I told him, so he accepted that. And those are the some conversation I had in the last few hours of him.
What was
So
the date that you had the conversation in November? What was the date?
it was
November 22nd.
22nd before his birthday, one day. Yeah.
After
Oh,
his birthday, one day after his birthday, Suchi celebrated his 26th birthday on November 21st in
so
LA with
21st was his birthday. You spoke to 22nd November, and
Number
then
I
by
spoke to him on 21st. He spoke to him on 22nd.
okay, you spoke to him on 21st. You spoke to him on 22nd, and then his date of death when he was found was 25th.
We found his body on 26th,
Okay.
but it might have been 22nd or 23rd. His that
22nd
we
night or morning, early morning.
That's when this happened.
So it was a couple of days after which you found the body.
Yeah, actually, I tried on 25th itself. We didn't get the support from police saying that whatever reason, by the time we understood the protocol and got them, like kind of like sitting on their neck to do things,
Okay.
that's when we found the
Yeah,
body. And even
Saturday.
at 2 o'clock,
Yeah.
they told you can go home, ma'am, we'll find you. We'll give you the details in 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, Saturday we tried to call once. We thought he is busy
Voicemail on Saturday.
because Saturdays usually.
So we thought he's busy.
Yeah. Then the Sunday, I think we called, but
We
we
kept
got
calling on Sunday.
a little bit, some concern was there. But Monday only we
Once
got
we were very scared. I
scared.
went and knocked on the apartment door.
And
He didn't
we thought
open.
some accident or something, hospitals and all we
We checked, yes, we checked all the hospitals. And then when was no hospital had this information, we thought, okay, good, there's no accident or anything.
Because
And
he goes by bike sometime, he takes bike,
motorcycle.
a regular bike also.
That was the
Okay.
worst thing we thought. And like we checked all the news, there was nothing there. Police went to his apartment. They went during the daytime, but they didn't put effort to go inside the apartment. They said, they didn't tell me to come at the same time. They just said, okay, apartment is locked, and they went back. But next day, when I kept calling, pushing, then they said, ma'am, if you come, we can open the apartment door. We need you to be here. And then I went from Union City, that's near Fremont, to San Francisco.
Okay. And
We went into the apartment, right?
you went to the
Inside his
apartment, and what did
apartment,
you
his
see?
bed
What did
was
you find? If
there.
you could give us those high level items, what did you see? What was
We
unusual
saw
that
the
you saw?
ransacked item.
Ransacked items, okay?
We didn't see his pen drive. We didn't see his pen drive. He had a pen drive. It's something where he used to store the data. I had asked him last year, a year ago, can you give me yours? And he said, no, it's mine. I can't give you. So I know he had one and didn't find that there. And also, we found his bedroom, and the area around the dining room was scattered. He'd just come back, and his backpack and the other things were still outside. And when we went into the bathroom, was a horrific scene for us. It was very, very difficult to see because we saw his blood near the bathroom sink, and the struggle for his struggle, and he was moved around. He trying to hold the side door, trying to escape. All of those signs were seen. And also we saw in the private autopsy report, we saw the head injury here. And
Oh,
corresponding to the head injury, there were blood marks in the bathroom. With all these signs, how can authorities say it's a suicide?
Yeah,
okay.
he was listening to me. There was a phone next to him.
Huh.
He was listening with the earbud,
It
and
had
it
fallen out
fallen down.
because
That
of
is,
the hit impact on his head. Imagine like what we have gone through when we learned all these things. Every day is it's like a horror for us. It's very difficult.
Yes, I,
Despite of all these things, I told the medical examiner's office, executive director, all these details. He was not ready to listen. I even said we'll bring a lawsuit. He said he'll deal with it when he gets there.
I'm so
And
sorry to hear that.
And
Uh,
also, we wrote to chief of police, we wrote to city administrator in San Francisco,
Okay.
we wrote to executive director of medical examiner, we wrote to chief medical examiner. Police were interested when we spoke to our attorney spoke to chief of police. He was interested. He did say on 29th it's a homicide. Our attorney shared with us. That's because police have concluded it to be a homicide based on the facts. But next day he called us and said, no, it's suicide. We ended our relationship with him because he was not being trustworthy. He kept telling the narrative. When our attorney told it's like this, I did check with him. What was the basis? He said, no one entered into the building, no one came out of the building. He was by himself, so it's a suicide. And then I said, look, there are two other entrances to this building. Both of them don't have CCTV footage. What about it? Okay, you do
Yeah.
private investigation. So
Wow.
it's kind of like we're dealing with corrupt system here.
yeah, we become our own investigators to find a lot of truths. Yeah.
We found actually it was very difficult for us. We had to recreate the whole scene. At that point, 1 month, our former attorney wasted about 1 month time. And now we have another one. Now we finally got the support that we need. And thanks to everyone who funded this like investigation effort, we received from GoFundMe, and we were able to hire an attorney and investigator based on the support from all the people. Thanks to everyone for it. And
Okay.
here we are.
Where is the investigation currently? I know you mentioned that that the previous attorney who was working, he's been removed, and you have a current attorney. And what are the authorities doing at this time? I
You
understand you
know
briefly
what?
covered that, but
Authorities are giving wrong information. KQED called them, and the authorities said, we are investigating. I told the KQED news editor, follow up. See, if the police are investigating, they should
yeah,
be coming to our apartment. They should be talking to our son's friends
yeah.
who he spent last few days with. They haven't done anything. So KQD called up his friends and they verified that no one has contacted them. They just, and next day after Suchir's death, I called the police. They said medical examiner is investigating. I called medical examiner. They said police are investigating. I called a homicide unit. They said no, we haven't received anything.
So
And
nobody's
then
investigating at this point.
no, they're selling. You know what? Actually, medical examiner's office is where the authority is. And David Sewell, who's the executive director of medical examiner's office, said that he has the authority to make a decision of the cause of death. In this, it's by state. So what we are looking at is we need to have federal authorities come and look into it.
So you are requesting an FBI investigation.
FBI investigation. The reason
Okay.
being, there's a federal aspect of his death as well. Though the wrongful death comes under state, federal is because he was a witness, he was protected.
Okay. All
And
right.
now the new government is coming in, and we are praying to them and we are seeking help from them to do the FBI investigation and look into this matter, because it's not just the death of my son. Like, he speaks about an ethic, he speaks about a cause.
What is your message to the government of India and the CGI? Have you contacted them?
Balaji is an Indian citizen. So we request government of India to intervene, to talk to the authorities in America and to do a fair investigation. He deserves justice.
Okay. All right. And any parting remarks on similar situation of whistleblowers? What is the legacy of Balaji, and what is your message to the world for parents who are left with situations like yours? So what is your suggestion / lessons learned to them?
Yeah, they have to be protected by legislation with
Correct.
some
Some protection
group
should be
where they
given.
can come forward and give support. I mean, they are working isolated ways, so they should not feel insecure. Yeah.
As such, actually, right now, even though many people know what's going on here, they're scared of their lives to come forward. In fact, like the private autopsy doctor was very fearful. So what is happening here in our society is people are scared to speak truth. And March of last year, there was another two deaths, whistleblowers from Boeing. So we are calling out to protect them, to secure their life. Just because they speak the truth, they don't have to lose their life. They don't have to give up their life for standing up for a value. And like, what's happening in America right now is like all those values are vanishing away, and we're taking lives of innocent people who speak the truth. Our son's legacy is AI ethics. He fought for it, and we want to do our very best to uphold what he was fighting for, and nurture his cause and make sure his dreams live.
Yeah, we started a non-profit for that, planning to do projects related to ethical AI, responsibility.
Responsible AI and other
Yeah.
areas that he was causing for.
Any other parting thoughts before we conclude?
Thank you for hosting us, and we thank everyone who's standing with us in this fight for justice.
Wish you all the best. And again, our prayers and condolences, and wish you all the best.